like we always do at this time.
St. Augustine once said, "The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page." Although I had heard this quote many times before, its meaning became more clear to me after leaving my small town in Massachusetts to spend 3.5 months studying abroad in Dublin, Ireland through the NUN program at Northeastern. My name is Lucas. My family and I are very close, and as I began my college search, Northeastern quickly shot up to the top of my list in that it is close to home, located in my favorite city in the world, and is filled with endless opportunities such as co-op and study abroad. Because of this, I was very excited to receive my acceptance letter in the mail. However, I was very confused and taken aback when I was accepted into the NUN program. I had never heard of the program before and had never heard of a school that sent freshmen abroad for the first semester. Although I was nervous, I knew that Northeastern and the opportunity to experience life in a new location were too significant to pass up, so I packed my bags and traveled 6 hours to Dublin, where I would attend Dublin Business School. We lived at Blackhall Place, and although I was worried about not having a dishwasher, having to cook, and having to shop for food each week, I quickly became very close with my roommates Neil and Ryan. After a few days and a couple cereal dinners, my roommates and I discovered that we were actually pretty decent cooks, and we often cooked pesto pasta and marinated chicken, our favorite meals for dinner. We mutually decided to take turns washing dishes, dedicated one night each week to cleaning our apartment, and soon found that living on our own wasn't as difficult as we originally thought. Between the clubs, pubs, and various sporting events throughout the city, there was a sense of community in Dublin that was like no other, and the city quickly felt like home to me. Although I got homesick many times, the NUN events and excursions helped me feel more at home by bringing together the NUN community in fun and exciting ways. I was able to see the play Oedipus at Abbey Theatre, run around the streets of Dublin completing challenges during Husky Hunt, and even jump in a bog at Cossey Farm. The family dinners also helped build a sense of community within NUN, and between the long discussions and global experience and hilarious conversations across the dinner table, our family became very close, which made home feel not as far away. I also learned a lot about Irish history through co-curricular trips, such as hiking along the cliffs in Howth, surfing the shores of Sligo in the west, and leaning over the famous Cliffs of Moher as part of our trip to Galway. Through these trips, I was able to learn almost as much about Ireland as I did in the classroom, and was surprised to learn that Ireland had some of the best surf spots in the world. My favorite trip, however, was our trip to the north, and despite getting soaked by a giant wave at the Giant's Causeway, the unique rock formations were something I had never seen before, and I thought they fit perfectly with the beautiful Irish landscape. I also took advantage of international travel while I was in Dublin, and for reading week I traveled to Italy with 6 of my new close friends. Whether it was hanging out by the pool at our house on the Amalfi Coast, cliff jumping in Capri, or eating pizza in Rome and Sorrento, our trip was one of the highlights of my life, and I had built relationships with people that I know will last forever. Organizing a trip on my own has made me feel more confident and mature, and I have learned to trust my instincts while traveling and in life in general. One of the most rewarding parts of my experience was through my service learning at the Dolphin House Homework Club in Rialto. I worked with some of the nicest people I had ever met, and they made me feel very welcome each Wednesday. The kids also seemed to really enjoy my presence, as my fellow students and I helped them with their homework, organized sports games, and drew pictures with them each session. I learned to love working with children and developed many skills, including patience, leadership, and communication, all of which I can apply to life at Northeastern and beyond. Through this experience, I was able to build many relationships with the children, and the feeling of giving back to a community that had been so welcoming to me over the last 3.5 months was very satisfying. Although my story is not over, and I know I have many opportunities and adventures waiting ahead, I know I have turned many pages in my book and can't wait to turn many more as I start my next chapter in Boston. At dinner, my mother once said, "Cheers to the families we are born into, to the families we meet along the way, and the families who we become." And through the last 3.5 months, I've become part of a new family, all thanks to Northeastern and my global experience.